May 31st, the end of the month, 2015. Undead from Cleveland, and you're listening to Video Game News Radio with your host, Kevin Baird.
John Anderson.
And Larry Mack.
Brian will be joining us today because he's fake sick. So, just wrote him off. I knew he wasn't going to join us when he made his fake sick post yesterday that he was sick. And he was going to ride that out today and probably call his work and tell him that he's sick again so he doesn't have to work, because that's how Brian rolls. I bet, if you went through the past year and just looked at his sick record from, work, it's probably he's been sick 20 times or something.
Right.
I don't know. The guy, it's all, I don't know what his deal is. It's fine, though. Maybe he's got the Larry Mack stomach flu.
Actually, I'm
Really?
glad I did it. I got sidetracked. I was tempted to also be fake sick because made myself some dinner today and may not have actually cooked the meatloaf long enough. So
Awesome.
if you hear retching and a giant thud, that will be my intestines leaping up through my throat and strangling me.
Wouldn't be the first time on this show.
Well,
I was like, that doesn't taste right.
Not from Larry, but
It's not usually that color either. I better just go ahead and eat it, though, because I'm sure it's fine.
yeah.
Brian might be really sick. But the thing is that it's like the boy who cried wolf. You just don't know.
Yeah. Listen, he says I'm sick. You go, yeah, whatever, good. And just go because you show up anyways, and you're just gonna cry. You know.
Just like to pay attention.
So you just let him go. Just like, yeah, okay, that's fine, that's cool.
Be angry that I have to do the show anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like you make him show up, and you be like, dude, you're not sick. You prove him wrong. You're like, see, I told you you're not sick. You'd be like, fine, I'll be on the show. And then he comes on the show, and he's, dragon, the whole time. Not that I don't mind that. I like that. I think it's kind of cool.
I know. It's entertaining. So, all right, we're going to do our top 20 titles of the week. I'm not doing the movers and shakers list. I'm doing the regular list. So there won't be much of a drinking game. You can drink if you want to, but I'm not even going to say it because it's actually, you would get drunk out of your mind.
Woo!
So, this is the official list. Top 20 bestsellers right now. Number 20, Mortal Kombat 10 for the PlayStation 4.
Don't drink.
Number 19, The Witcher Wild Hunt for the Xbox One. I'm playing that right now. I finished Witcher 2. Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, is I'm not sure I like it yet, because they kind of throw you into this open world, but it doesn't have rubber band AI, so lots of things are just beyond your level, and there's no real way to know where you're supposed to go where things are at your level.
Yeah, until something just rises up and...
Well, I've been playing, you go to these boards, you go to a town and there's a board, and it has a bunch of quests for hire things, right? So you can just gather all of them. There's 6 at a time. You just take all of them. And some of them, point to things on the map that are mysterious that you can go to, and some of them are go talk to this dude for a quest. And everything I find says this mission is level 7 or above, and I'm level 3. And yes, I can grind, but there's not a lot to grind. There's not monsters just wandering around in the fields or anything. So you kind of have to do quests in order to get where you're going, or just get lucky and run across something. And you don't get that much experience anyway in order to get up to those levels. So I'm not quite sure what the f I'm supposed to be doing. I did finally find a mission that's kind of getting me there, but of course, it's made for level 7 and I'm level 3, and they're just handing me my ass. So, I don't know. I'm playing this all on Twitch, so if anybody's bored, falling asleep, wants something to just fall asleep with, you can watch me play Witcher 3 on Twitch pretty much all the time. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. 18 is The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited for the PlayStation 4. Number 17 is Batman Arkham Knight for the PlayStation 4. Number 16 is the Mayflash GameCube controller adapter for Windows.
Not again.
$15. It's on the top list, too. It's on the movers and shakers, so weird. Number 15, Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. I think it's probably because of Smash Brothers. Number 14, the $60 PlayStation Store gift card.
Not a game.
Number 13, I wouldn't because it's going to get ugly here in a minute. Number 13, Bloodborne for the PlayStation 4. Number 12, the NVIDIA Shield. That's the new console from NVIDIA. That's basically yet another Android console. Supposedly very powerful, but not more powerful than, say, an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. And $200 for the one with like no memory. And if you want the one with memory, it's like $300. So you can just basically, for a few bones more, go get yourself a modern console, or you can have this thing.
A souped-up Android.
I don't think it's worth it. I'm on the fence about buying one in the first place. I think I'm at the point where, even though it's a game console, because it's yet another Android system, probably not going to buy it. Probably not. Unless they come out with some kind of game for it that's exclusive, that's really good. And I don't think that'll happen. Number 11, The Witcher Wild Hunt for PlayStation 4. Okay, here we go with Disaster Time. Number 10, Lucina Amiibo for Wii.
Say what?
That one costs $47.98. It's not a game. It's an Amiibo. It's one of those plastic things. Number 9, Robin Amiibo. $47.98 for Wii. Number 8, Inkling Boy Amiibo for Wii. $12.99. Number 7, Wario Amiibo for Nintendo Wii. $27.99. You people are dumb. Number 6,
Dumb.
Inkling Girl Amiibo for the Wii. $23.11. Number 5 is Splatoon, the Nintendo Wii U. Number 4 is Inkling Boy, Girl, and Squid 3-pack for the Nintendo Wii U.
Dumb.
Number 3 is I'm going to take my Pokemon card. Charizard Amiibo for the Nintendo Wii, $24.99. Number 2 is the Pac-Man Amiibo, $12.99. And number 1 is the Mario Silver Edition Amiibo for the Nintendo Wii at $27.94. Gaming is over.
Again.
Don, how was your week this week?
Wow, that's a good question. It was
work?
Yeah, I worked. I told you about my brother, right? Last week, I think.
No, well, you said something about his no job for a while, but you didn't say anything about your brother.
You know, it's summer's hit. Well, there's no work, so I'm kind of fucked. But I've been working more at Cheesecake Factory. Funny little story. The other night, I was sitting here, and I said, I got the taste for some chili dogs. I think I'm going to make some chili. Never made chili before in my life. So I'm going to make some chili. We get some hot dogs. I'm going to make chili dogs. I got potatoes. I'm going to cut up potatoes and make chili fries. You know what I mean? Like all kinds, all weekend long. Chili.
All right. This is weird, but okay. I'm with you.
It is weird. So I had the ground meat in the freezer, and I got a recipe, and I was like, all right, this is what I got. I'll put this together. Bam, bam, bam. I made so much fucking chili. I didn't mean to. I made a lot. I ended up giving it away to people. I was like, here, take a thing of chili. Take this home with you.
Put some bacon barbecue sauce on it.
You know, people are looking at me. They're like, you did what? I was like, I made chili. Here it is. You know? So, yeah, that was interesting. It actually turned out all right. But I ate chili for like 2 days in a row. Chili dogs, chili fries, just chili. Whew. I'm still recovering. I pooped 3 times a day. So, I thought that was kind of funny. It was all right. It was pretty good.
What the hell happened?
That used to make it chili. That was it. And then, pay-per-view tonight. Elimination Chamber, WWE. So that's going to be going on tonight. Be watching that. The WWE Network.
What is this one?
Elimination Chamber.
What do they do there? Everybody goes into like some big glass container, and whoever gets out last becomes
pretty much
with gamma rays or something.
Yeah. They shoot them full of poop, and they get filled up, and then they open the door and you come out. And nobody wants to touch you. You win. That's all I get. That's all I got.
It's fine. Larry, how was your week?
Lame, because I don't really have a life now. See, this week, actually, this week I don't think I did
You
shit.
should have a life. Your school's over now, right? You should have
Yeah.
more of a life.
School is over.
Yeah, now that, you know,
You went to Allison-Aluza, whatever that was.
yes, Friday after work, went out drinking. We went to a place near the office for happy hour, and then there was plans to go to this other place afterwards. I did not make it to the second place because it was kind of a long, shitty week, and in the hour and a half that I was there drinking cheap happy hour drinks, I managed to still run up like a $65 bar tab.
Wow.
Which
What bar was that?
the Burntwood,
Not familiar.
but I was like pounding like double kamikazes the whole time. So,
Oh, I might do it.
yesterday, a friend of mine was he's like, hey, we're cooking out at the park. I was like, that'll be great. And so I headed out to Wingfoot Park, which is about 45 minutes from my house. I'm driving, and 77 is like backed up. I don't know if there's an accident. I don't know what there is. But I made the awesome decision that, you know what? I basically know kind of where I'm going. I'll just make my own detour around all this traffic.
That doesn't sound good.
No. So instead of heading, 77 south, I was like, I'll just stay here on 76. I'll go down a little bit, cut down south off of whatever I get. That'll get me to 224. In my head, it all worked perfectly. So I get off and I'm driving, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't realize that would be this far east, but this isn't a problem. And then I start seeing signs for like Austin Town and Jackson Township and Lake Milton, and apparently
You don't live anywhere near those places.
no. What had happened was once I made the turn and committed myself to going this particular way to pick up Route 224, I was driving due south for like 45 minutes, or at least that's what I thought I was doing. What I was actually doing was driving due east for 45 minutes,
Whoops.
completely parallel to the road that I wanted. Basically wound up just shy of Pennsylvania. Finally wound up getting there. To put it into perspective, when I left after the cookout and the hanging out, it took me like 45 minutes to get home. It took me about 3 hours to get there, though. So, but it was a nice day out. Had the windows down, blasting some tunes, driving through the countryside. So it all worked out. Got me out of the house. It's a nice day for a drive anyway. So,
Good.
And that was pretty much it. No trivia this week. I don't remember why.
Basketball game?
Oh yeah,
Even though
Yes.
I heard that they had it anyway during the game.
yeah. I heard that they did it, and like it was trivia questions about the game or something weird like that. But yeah, but by the time Pam posted that they were doing it, everyone had already committed to not going because I was not going to start trivia at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't. I had things to do anyway.
Yeah, play Witcher and decide whether or not you like it.
No, I was putting my pool pump together.
Oh,
And it was going to rain, and I wanted to get it done. And, I mean, that wouldn't take all night or anything, but, wasn't in the mood.
And you know the video's messing up on Twitch?
Yeah, I can't help that, though. There's something wrong with Twitch.
I figured. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know.
it's the Twitches.
The DT.
I blame Twitch. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Brian's computer.
Yeah,
He's not here, but it's his fault.
Brian's downloading shit.
Yeah. He's playing Lord of the Rings on while he's doing the show. Yeah, so my week, we got the pool done. I think I mentioned that last time. And switched my medication around. Might have mentioned that last time. and didn't actually end up taking it for a week though. Like I got the new medication, but then I was too like, I don't know if I want to take that right now. It's gonna fuck me up. It's gonna make me all fucked up. All it's doing is making me really tired right now. So we'll see how it goes. I'm only on it, like this is the second day I've been on it. And yesterday I slept forever. Today I'm doing a little bit better. But I'm like I'm taking half of the one I used to take, and I'm taking this new one. So I need the one that I take half of to kind of reduce itself, and then, which takes like 4 weeks for it to get out of my system, so that I'm just on the half. It's just one of these things that builds up in your system. So while that's going on, I'm like super tired, but otherwise I'm fine. Did I do anything else this week? Not really. I can't think of anything. I finished putting up the fencing around my bushes, and I've been playing a lot of Witcher. That's about it.
Keeping up with the new levels of Candy Crush Saga.
Huh?
That was the other excitement for me. That was my gaming news. New levels of Candy Crush Saga again, so I had stuff to do.
That's cool. Yeah. Playing Dead Island 2 as well. I played some Diablo, but I sent that back because that was really boring. I don't know why people play Diablo, because you do the same thing. You just hold the button down, and your guy just keeps like fighting, like, and you just hold it down, and it's really weird. Like I don't get it. I don't. You get lots of loot, so there's lots of new things to get, but the gameplay is essentially you just stand still and hold the button down. I don't know. Not into it. Not into it. So got Dying Light. I gotta play. Oh, I played that. This game's all about Larry. No, it's called Life is Strange, and it's like a Telltale game, but it's actually made by Square, and it's
I've heard of that.
It's about this college girl who is like a photographer, and she's just going through college, but she has this unusual power that she develops one day, where she can reverse time. So, like, you can't die, but like for instance, like let's say she's opening a door and it knocks a jar over of liquid or something, spills on the ground. You can reverse time, then move the jar out of the way of the door, and then open the door and go outside. So you know about like the future by rewinding and then doing it again, which is okay. I mean, it's just that the problem with the game.
That'd drive me nuts.
The girl is completely introspective about everything. So you see a painting, and she's like, that painting, it reminds me of that time that me and Mom went down to the seashore and picked up seashells. And then you look at a candle, and she's like, I remember when we used to have candles during a blackout when my dad and I would hide out. And you're like, geez, oh man, I don't care. I just want to know if I need it.
Kevin, those are clues.
Yeah, but it goes on forever,
Those
Larry.
are called clues.
I hate clues.
So they're not even clues. It's like every item that she wants to look at has got something going on.
Dude,
and it's like, oh.
That's like that L.A. Noire game. Remember that came out a couple of years? And they're like, you got to watch the people's facial expressions and shit.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm not here to deduce if this guy's telling me the truth or not. Just give me something that's like got an outline on it, so I know to pick it up, and then I'll take that and go where I need to go. Yeah. That's too.
That game too, with like looking at their faces and trying to figure out if they're lying or not, was like totally useless. I couldn't figure out one tell that they were doing.
Right. You'd only get it right if you guessed right. You get
yeah, exactly.
But everybody, you'd be like, that could be a lie. That could be a lie. That could be a lie. You're like, yeah, they're lying. Nope, they're telling the truth. So what are you talking about?
Right.
1950s.
So,
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. I'm sorry.
I played the Game of Thrones game, and yeah, so I gotta keep playing those. I got another chapter of Life is Strange to play, and I got 1 or 2 more chapters of Game of Thrones to play. So yeah, rock on. Just you'll see me jump on Twitch. I'm on Twitch all the time because I just play online, and I don't always say stuff. So what I'm doing is like when I put them up on YouTube. I'm only going to, for now, when I'm on the YouTube feed, I'm only going to put the ones where I narrate or talk to people that want to talk to me. Because some people, like, come on, like Latino Heat or Jaga, and we have conversations and talk or whatever. Sometimes I just narrate because the game's ridiculous and it's irritating me. So those I'll put down that I'm narrating, but other ones like I'm not going to upload. But you can see all of them on the Twitch history if you're bored and want to watch. But there you go. And you can always just come on and just talk to me, and I'll talk to you. Okay. Let's see. I don't mind. Sarah's like, clues. Why can't I just shoot? I don't mind clues. It's just that she looks at everything in the game, and has something to say about it. She can't just go, that's a candle. You know? No. It's got to have some story behind it. It's like, oh, my God. You'll play the game. You'll see what I'm saying. It's a nice game. Sarah should play the game, because it's all, it's about being a girl in college and wandering around and meeting people and stuff. There's nothing weird about it so far. There's a missing girl. I think that's kind of like the overriding mystery to it. So. Kevin's reading this. Yes, I am, Don. God damn it, bastard. All right, let's do our. What are we doing? News? Is that what we do now?
Whatever you want. We're so lost that Brian's not here.
I know.
Earlier this year, a series of reports indicated that a return trip to the grid was on the cards. While it wasn't greenlit by Disney, pre-production on Tron 3 had geared up with a tentative shooting schedule rumored to begin this fall in Vancouver. And now, according to a report from THR, where they are, the studio has canceled all work on the sequel. Olivia Wilde and Garrett Hedlund were expected to reprise their roles as Cora and Sam Flynn, respectively, with Tron Legacy director Joseph Kosinski back at the helm. Released in 2010, Legacy brought in about $400 million worldwide, further expanding the digital realm first introduced in 1982's Tron. If the film hadn't received the dreaded axe, the third installment was to explore Cora in an ass-kicking algorithm as she ventured into the real world for the first time. Site goes on to mention that Disney was tentatively eyeing Jared Leto for a significant role, with the rap suggesting that Olivia Munn was also in consideration. Disney has yet to comment on the movie's cancellation, probably because it sucked, but it's believed that the studio's jam-packed slate that includes the Star Wars and Marvel universes may have been a deciding factor. Whatever the reason, it's game over for Tron 3. That's kind of weird, because $400 million is nothing to sneeze at, You'd figure you could make another Tron movie pretty easy, considering they were never really that good to begin with. So, just throw one out there. People go see it, make some money. It's weird. Guys didn't like the Tron. Were you Tron fans at all?
No, not the movie. I never seen the movies. I saw the first one when I was a kid, and I got so bored I fell asleep.
Yeah, I didn't see the second one. I thought, because the first one at the time it was really cool, and then like I saw it on cable a couple years ago. I was like, wow, this seemed so much better 20 years ago.
Yeah. They would show, because when that came out, I was a kid, and they showed the commercials, and you're like, wow, you see the cycles going, and you see people throwing things and lights, and everything's crazy looking, and then you start watching it, and it's just like, when's all this stuff going to happen? And the dude's like typing on the computer, and he's like, oh, I'm getting sucked in. Yeah.
I saw the second one in the theater in 3D, and it was pretty cool, the 3D, because of all the, the way it's all, lit up and everything, and it had a pretty good soundtrack for what it was. The storyline was terrible. It's always been terrible, though, so I sort of accepted it for what it was, but I was kind of hoping it would, like, maybe get more intelligent, but it really didn't go there. So, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. The spiritual successor to Castlevania. Currently raising money on Kickstarter, will create a Wii U edition now that it has passed $3 million in funding. The project's creators, which include the former producer of Castlevania, Koji Igarashi, posted yesterday that a surge of donations from nearly 800 backers pushed the project over the $3 million threshold. Bloodstained promises to deliver physical copies for Wii U as well as digital edition. Those who have already backed the project and wish to receive the game on Wii U when it launches don't need to do anything except, quote, buy a Wii U. No, they didn't say that, but that's what I'm saying. wait for the post Kickstarter survey to select their game, the creator's choice.
Wait, how many backers does it have?
800.
And they're at 3 million?
800, what does it say? A surge of donations from nearly 800 backers. So that was maybe 800 new
Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit, that's like $4,000 each.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's right. With this goal surpassed and still 12 days left in the campaign, Bloodstain has set 2 additional stretch targets at 3.25 million. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
Computer seems like it's locked up here.
Here I am. Right here. I'm awake.
All right. Well, if I lose you, let me know. Don't let me know. I'll restart it and send you a link or something. Not quite sure what's going on with my other computer. It does this sometimes.
If you lose me, you won't know.
I won't be able to shut the show off, though, because it's locked up. With this goal surpassed and still 12 days left in the campaign, Bloodstain has 2 additional stretch targets at 3.25 million. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck. I'm afraid we're not going to record on the Twitch or on the stream, though, so I'm going to reboot the computer.
Uh-oh.
You guys just sit here and wait. If you don't lose me, just stay here. If you don't get kicked off, just stay here and wait, and I'll reappear, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do, man. I think you guys are still recording the show, though, so just, why don't you guys talk amongst yourselves about it?
So check this out, Larry. Is that what you want me to do? How to do something like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the end of school, right? The kids are getting out of school.
Right.
This past week they had an award ceremony, quote unquote, for my daughter's class. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, that's cool, because back in the day, teachers used to hand out awards to everybody in the class. Like everybody would get a piece of paper or whatever, and she'd always.
What kind of lame school did you go to?
Elementary school. I went to a regular elementary.
Everybody got an award?
Well, like, she made personal ones for everybody for what they did during the year. Like, oh, you were the kid who always did this, or you were the kid who always did this. She had funny ones, joke ones. It was just something,
Gotcha.
that they did. It wasn't necessarily like, okay, everybody gets one for math, everybody gets one for gym. You know what I mean? It was like they were all different. Everybody got something different. It was something fun to do.
Gotcha.
And so I go to my daughter's one, and I'm like, oh, they're just going to go around the room and take it real quick, no big deal. Half an hour, pretty much the same 5 kids over and over again. Like the 2 Asian kids. And I'm not saying anything racist, I'm just telling you. The 2 Asian kids.
They happen to be Asian.
Right. The one geeky girl who they said read a book a day. Which is great. I mean, hey, if you're 9 years old and I guess you're reading a book a day, that's great for you. Way to go. I didn't call her geeky. Somebody else did, I think. Might have been me. So, yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm sitting here and I'm getting mad each time because you know what I mean? You just called her up there. Hey, wait a minute. You just called him up there. When the fuck is my daughter going up? She finally goes up and gets 2 things, and I'm like happy for her. She comes back, she hands it to me. I was like, oh, that's great. You want me to frame him? She's like, nah, I don't care. It's just like, well, wait. Like I'm getting all pissed off and worked up over here, and you're the one who doesn't even care.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
Right?
Yeah, a few years ago. Well, I guess it was a lot of years ago. I went to one with Vicky for her daughter, and like when I was in school, you had like honor roll and merit roll, and then like some third one that I don't remember, like citizenship or something like that.
None of us remember.
Yeah, they're going through all that stuff, and then they get to this one where basically all you had to do was you couldn't be failing any classes, and you couldn't have like gotten any suspensions that semester. And I'm like, really? So basically, as long as like you're not a complete fucking savage, you get an award now?
See, I wouldn't have got one. Right?
I can't remember if it was suspensions or detentions, because I know I never would have gone a whole semester without a detention. I might have gone a couple without a suspension.
Failing a class was the other one. There's no doubt that's happening. Every year, I fail at least one every year. You should have seen my first senior year, I think it was like 3 or 4 of them I failed.
Yeah, I don't think I failed a class until college. And then, like, I failed statistics like 4 times.
I was a big failure, and I started very early.
Yeah, it took me a while to really get going and, commit myself to failing a class straight up.
See, when I was in 6th grade, I was still in elementary school, and I had dreams and aspirations. And going into 7th grade, I fought really hard to get to be able to take a foreign language.
Yeah.
So I got into French class, and well, much like the French, I gave up very quick. Because basically it was like I went in there and it was like I was learning, and then it started getting like complicated, and I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of rough. You know, this is like I don't have a hard enough problem with the English language right now at this time of my life. I really don't think I need to be taking on a second one. You know?
You figured a foreign language would be your blow-off class? You couldn't, like, go for shop or something?
Well, no, I was like, because at that time I was still thinking about college and stuff like that. I was like, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to be educated, and I'm going to be smart. And it was before all the weed and everything. So the one day I'm sitting in French class, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I got my head in my hands, and I'm sitting there just like praying for death. And the next thing I know, I jump my head up, and I looked, and I looked at the clock, and it was 15 minutes later. And I was like, I just slept in class. And no one even fucking noticed. And then that was it. That was it. From then on, I was like, I'm sleeping in class. And that's when I started sleeping in class. So school didn't help me. Nothing really helped me. I pretty much ruined everything myself. Did I hear Kevin's voice?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I'm not ready yet. Keep going.
No, my story's over. I got nothing. French class. That's where I saw my... No, that kid wasn't in that class.
Larry can tell a story.
7th grade, that's when I saw the one kid. I can't remember. Whatever. Larry can tell a story.
I didn't take my first foreign language until high school, and I took French not so much because I wanted to take French, but because I never sent back little postcards saying what language I wanted it to take.
Yeah, see, everybody took Spanish, and I was like...
Yeah, you had to sign up for either Spanish, Latin, or French. I didn't bother sending it back, so I got French, which apparently means nobody wanted to take French.
Right. Which is fine, though, because chicks dig that shit. Like, I'll go up to people, right? And I'll be like, oh, bonjour. And the chicks will be like, oh, you talk French? I'll be like, je m'appelle la chapeau. And they're like, wow. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what you know, I'll be like, la porte, la crayon, la livre.
Je m'appelle Le Chateau.
I'm like, hello, you know.
That line work for you a lot, does it?
My name's Hat. You know, they're like, what is that you just said? I'm like, door, pencil, and book.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, wow, that sounded really good. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's just gibberish.
Yeah.
Just like it's just what I speak in English.
Door, pencil, book.
Yeah. People are like, hey, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Door, floor, door. Danger, stranger, stranger, danger. Walk away. Shake my head a lot. And they're like, wow, that guy's crazy. I don't talk to him.
Okay.
Go ahead, Larry. What else you got? Oh, Kevin's back.
Kevin said okay.
Yeah, I know, but he should probably maybe he's got a story.
About French? I took German, got kicked out.
You didn't take French, did you?
No, I took German in California, and I didn't do any good at it.
Hey, Mom.
They took me out of the class, you know. They were like, you know.
When I got thrown out of that, were you in that study hall with that old lady with me? Mrs. Toth?
Mrs. Toth. I mean, I might have been. I don't remember it. But
I think that was Bailey. Maybe it was Bailey.
It could have been, but what does that have to do with French? Like, I'm not sure.
Nothing. Because I was just thinking. I was trying to remember because she kicked me out of the class, and I was like at the doorway. I'm like, I'll be back. I'm coming back tomorrow. I'm gonna, kick me out. I don't know. I don't know what made me think of that. Because you were talking about foreign languages, Germany, something.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe.
It was Bailey.
Let's resume the news. Polygon says that the remastered re-release of Halo 3 ODST that was promised to buyers of the defective Halo the Master Chief Collection is now available on Xbox One. Microsoft and 343 Industries said this morning. Halo 3 ODST is being offered for free via download code to Xbox One owners who played Halo the Master Chief Collection from its November 11th release until December 19th. It's a make good for the pervasive online problems the shooter faced for several weeks after its release. That we never talked about because nobody else did.
Wow.
Sony has put another nail in PlayStation Mobile's coffin. PlayStation Mobile is shutting down for good this summer. No new PSN games will be released for the service after July 15th.
Oh.
Goddamn shitty thing again. Turns like going around. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out one of these days. Get some volume or something. Shutting down for good this summer. No new PSN games will be released for the service until July 15th, at which point players will no longer be able to buy any new content. On September 10th, the portable will disappear entirely, preventing players from re-downloading previously acquired content or making further in-app purchases. Should you wish to keep any PSM games like Tokyo Jungle Mobile or Super Crate Box on your smartphone, tablet, or Vita, you'll need to re-download the software prior to September 10th. Sony maintains it cannot provide refunds for any PlayStation Mobile content that may be lost. Destructoid was recently contacted by Necrosoft Games, whose upcoming project, Oh Dear, figures to be among the last titles released on PSN. The developer says Oh Dear was submitted Thursday, apparently just 1 day prior to Sony's deadline for new applications.
Son of bitch shit.
PSN users will have roughly 2 months to get the game, after which time it and everything else on the platform will be gone forever. Kind of romantic going down with the ship and all. That's going to be emulated. That's just, they're going to put down some kind of emulator. Everybody will have it. You guys will have it. Don will play it. Talk about how great Oh Dear was.
Oh my god, you guys ever hear this one? You ever see this?
So amazing.
So fucking cool.
It
was the bus.
Here's our Steam Top 10 this week. Number 10 is Magicka 2. Number 9 is Elite Dangerous. Number 8 is Cities Skylines. Number 7 is H1Z1. Number 6 is Galactic Civilizations 3. Number 5 is Killing Floor 2. Number 4 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, plus the expansion pass. Number 3 is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Number 2 is Grand Theft Auto 5. And number 1 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
What was the... What's that one you said? Killer Floor 2 or something?
Yeah, Killing Floor 2 was number 5.
What did Floor 2 do to anybody? That's what I wanted to say. Killing Floor 2. Killing Floor 2. What did Floor 2... Never mind. Sorry. That's a Tumbling with Tumbleweed joke, which you can hear live Tuesday nights at 11. Go ahead.
You slept over Baird's house.
Wait, hey, Cliff.
What did guys doing?
What did you and Anderson do when he slept over your house? Did you guys, what, did you sleep in your underwear?
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Jingo. Thinking about him being a lawyer and stuff.
Right?
Constantly, like, interrupting and then being like, do math.
Bailey, didn't you bring any money?
I can't believe that guy. He went to fucking, we went to breakfast. He ordered a breakfast and he didn't have any money.
He ordered orange juice, a glass of coffee. Dude, he was ordering all kinds, and everybody was looking at him like, dude, you said you had no money. He goes, I'll get it. I'll get it somehow.
I don't know if I chipped in for him or not. I remember Corber was there, and he wouldn't eat anything. He was wearing a pink shirt.
He had his pink shirt on.
Did he eat or what? That was so weird.
My mom's watching.
Other kids are in class, like learning. We're going to breakfast and shit. Bizarre.
Yes.
TJ Cinnamons.
That station wagon with an 8-track.
Cinnamon rolls.
It was a rapist car. We all just jumped right in. We're all just like, yep, all right, we're in.
Well, because not like Jingo was big.
And wait, I mean,
you know,
yeah.
Sebastian and Lil Priori could have taken him.
What kid's not going to be like, what, you're going to take us out of school? You're going to take us off of school grounds? Let's go. We used to ask. We used to make him take. He would walk in the room and be like, Jingo, here's a bunch of money. Why don't you go run up and get us some cinnamon rolls? He'd be like, no, I don't think so. We'd be like, come on, dude, we'll do our math. He'd be like, you're going to do your math? You do your math. I come back. Everybody has their math done. You get a cinnamon roll. You got it? You're like, all right. You take off. Remember that driving teacher? Oh no, you weren't in my car. Never mind.
No, I was in.
We were in the same classroom though, weren't we? Yeah.
Jason Warner and
I was.
Our
Our
Mayer.
our driver instructor, he was just like, all right, pull out here, turn into here, and it's like that's Little Caesars. He's like, yeah, pull in there. You pull it. He's like, come on, let's all go get some food. So I spilled crazy sauce on the seat. He's like, that's not going to be good. He's like, why'd you do that? I was like, I didn't mean to do it. He was like, now someone's going to see it. Stopped and got pizza sauce or whatever.
We had one that was really like, she was like, you got to put the car in like, you got to, when you get to the railroad tracks, you stop, and then you just let the car like idle over the railroad tracks.
Right.
She's like, you'll fuck up the transmission if you do it any other way. Just like looking at her like, that's not true.
Yeah, that's not only is that not true, that sounds like a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Especially if a train's going to eventually be coming.
That was funny shit. All right. Microsoft announced plans to clean up the Windows Store by clamping down on apps that are too expensive or inappropriately designed. Microsoft is clearly looking to clean up its App Store ahead of Windows 10's release. And it's looking to get rid of applications that don't look nice, are largely useless, and that don't offer good value for money, which is most of them, in a move that could force developers to lower the cost of Windows apps. Bernardo Zamora, product manager for Microsoft's Windows Apps and Store team, said, "The price of an app must reflect its value. Customers need to know that when they purchase apps from Windows Store, they are paying a fair price. While developers retain sole pricing discretion, they should price apps based on their app's value and functionality. This means that similar apps should generally be comparable in price. This also means that while developers may use pricing to promote their apps, they may not use irregular or unfair pricing that violate the Windows Store Code of Conduct. If an app is priced significantly higher than other apps in its category, and it is determined that users might be confused and believe incorrectly that the higher price is warranted based on superior functionality or value, it may be removed from the store. Cost isn't all that developers need to worry about. Microsoft is also threatening to give apps that don't have appropriate or differentiated app icons the boot, along with those that use irrelevant keywords for shameless promotion." I don't know. There's like on the phone store, there'll be like a wallpaper picture of like diamonds, and it'll cost $1,000, and it'll be like, this is an exclusive picture for the Windows Phone. If you can afford to have it, you can show it off to your friends. And I'm like, I don't know if that's genius or totally retarded.
A little bit of both.
It's it's a little bit ridiculous. NVIDIA has announced GameWorks VR branding adds multi-res shading. Alongside the GeForce GTX 980 Ti,
Of course.
so just so I don't get people confused, right? Because I know some of you guys don't know. So basically, right, there's when you buy a PC that you want to play games on, there's two manufacturers that matter of chipsets. It's AMD's Radeon series, and it's GeForce's GTX series. And they're similar in performance. One always is a little bit better than the other. One's always a little bit cheaper than the other. Generally, GeForce tends to be the better performer, and the Radeon tends to be the cheaper. But they're very close together. So NVIDIA's GeForce GTX cards are the top one is right now, right? That costs $1,000 for just the graphics card. $1,000 is the Titan X. That's what it's called. And they just recently released the GTX 980 Ti, which is supposed to be lesser than the Titan, but at a better price. So I'm going to talk about this. Alongside the GeForce GTX 980 Ti and G-Sync announcements going on today in conjunction with it looks like computer, but it says Computex, NVIDIA is also announcing an update for their suite of VR technologies.
Sweet.
First off, initially introduced alongside the GeForce GTX 980 in September as VR Direct, today NVIDIA is announcing that they are bringing their VR technologies in under the GameWorks umbrella of developer tools. The collection of technologies will now be called GameWorks VR, adding to the already significant collection of GameWorks tools and libraries. But what does that mean?
No idea.
It means this is why we normally don't cover PC news. But here we go. Meanwhile, alongside today's rebranding, NVIDIA is also announcing a new feature for GameWorks VR, multi-resolution shading, or multi-res shading for short. With multi-res shading, NVIDIA is looking to leverage the Maxwell 2 architecture in order to increase rendering efficiency and ultimately the overall performance of their GPUs in VR situations. The fundamental issue at play here is how rendering works in conjunction with the optics that go into a VR headset. VR headsets use lenses to help users focus on a screen mere inches from their eyes and to help compensate for the wide field of vision of the human eye.
Oh, yeah.
However, in doing this, these lenses also introduce distortion, which in turn must be compensated for at the rendering phase in order to similarly distort the image such that it appears correct to the user after going through the lenses. From a rendering perspective, none of this is problematic, as distorting a rendered image is actually a pretty straightforward pixel shader operation, says you. However, one of the products of this distortion is that the distorted image has less information in it than the original image, due to the combination of the presence of optics in the headset and the fact that the human eye sees more detail at the center than at the edges. The end result is that the GPUs are essentially rendering more detail than they need to at the edges of a frame, which in turn introduces some room for psycho-visual rendering optimizations. All right, I'm done. We're done. Way too complicated. I'm sorry I brought it up. But, yeah. Graphics cards are really expensive. That's all I got to say. This one will sadden everyone. Ubisoft's Frag Dolls have disbanded.
Frag Doll living in.
Ubisoft's all-female professional gaming team, the Frag Dolls, is no more. Today, the group announced it was disbanding after close to 11 years in the industry.
This is so.
Quote, I can't do a girl's voice. Well, if all else fails.
Just do your own.
The most precious moments. The ones most likely to earn ugly crying tears of gratitude at our desks at work were one where our simple existence as a team of professional gamers gave other female gamers reasons to question assumptions they'd made about themselves. The Frag Dolls posted online. Those assumptions about what kind of things that they as women should love, how they spend their time, the careers they should dream about. Through 11 years and an ever-changing roster, we were united and spurred on by those messages from other women thanking us for inspiring them to try something new, to start their own team, to play in a tournament, or to pursue a job in the industry. The Frag Dolls also established the Cadet program that helped female gamers find work experience in the industry. The scheme supported over 80 people who went on to work with EA, 2K, Wargaming, Blizzard, Nintendo, Obsidian, Riot, Bungie, Twitch, Microsoft, Oculus Rift, BioWare, Machinima, Astro, and Ubisoft. Ubisoft deserves our deep gratitude for their 10+ years of support for the team. They could have shut us down after the first year or two as a fun marketing experiment, but instead, they continued to say okay to our ideas and give us the resources we need when we needed them most. Frag Dolls brand was founded in 2004 with 7 members: Brooklyn, Eekers, Jinx, Cat Scratch, Roulette, Seppuku, and Valkyrie. Seppuku didn't last long. No, I didn't say. Teams were later also established in the UK and France. What a weird name, Seppuku. Suicide.
Sepultura.
All right, that's it for the news. Do a couple email and we'll wrap it up. I know you guys are sad.
I don't know. Having a great time.
Our friend Jedi wrote to some kind of red paste at videogamenews.com.
This one.
And he said, what's going on, gang? How long will you play a game before turning down the difficulty or start straight up using cheat codes? I almost always try and play through a game on at least medium, but lately as I've grown older and have had less free time, I just want to start blowing through games as soon as possible. As great a game as The Witcher 3 may be, I don't think I can handle the 80 hours or more of gameplay it's supposed to provide. I've heard like 300 hours. The cheats are looking very tempting. Anyway, I'll have to find a suitable bread crust for this red paste. I used to play games on hard when I first got them, but yeah. Now, I play them mostly on normal. Occasionally, if I'm doing a review, I'll play it on easy so I can blow through it. So I don't do reviews anymore, though. It's mostly on normal. What about you guys?
I usually put it on whatever, like, the medium, like, the regular setting to try it out. And if it's like I'm blowing through it, then I may, like, put it up a little harder just to see what that's like. But, yeah, I remember when you put on Wing Commander 3,
Right.
whatever, for the first time on 3DO, and
Yeah.
you play this, and I started playing it, and it was like hard. It was like all these spaceship battles and stuff like that, and I'm kicking everybody's ass. And I remember looking at you and going, "Hey man, I'm pretty fucking good at this game. You want to like, turn up the difficulty?" And you're like, "I put you on invulnerable," and I was like, "Oh, really?" And you're like, "Yeah, nobody can kill you. That's why you're so awesome." I'm like, "Oh, well then don't change that." I'm like, leave that on there. You're like, I just want you to blow through this game, get through this.
Yeah. Ape.
Ape.
That lion guy would call you ape or something. Yeah.
Great, big.
That's actually why I don't use cheat codes or turn up the difficulty, because for me it's all about, overcoming the challenge. So if I overcome the challenge, but no, I did it by cheating, then I don't get any satisfaction out of it. I don't really need to beat the game to beat the game. I want to actually beat the game, which is why I have so many unfinished friggin' games sitting around here.
I mean, I'll do that. I'll do that with Madden. I'll put it on a harder level, because it's like, all right, now, because like their medium level, I'll crush.
Yeah.
But then,
I'll turn up the difficulty, because like the old Axis and Allies, the AI was fucking retarded.
but that's the thing. Some of these games, you put it up just one notch, and it just becomes impossible to play. And you're like,
Yeah.
like I can't play this, and I'm too fucking good at the other one. It's so boring, Like what the hell?
Proxy Cell writes in to order cheap Cialis at videogamenews.com. And he said, follow up to my last email about coming to Cleveland. I'm not that big of a drinker. More likely to get high on life with Anderson then. Thanks for the warnings that I might get gang raped, by the way.
It's possible. It's always possible. It's Cleveland. I'm sorry, Brian's not here.
Yeah, so you got to pick up the slack.
I do.
Yeah, if you don't drink, you wouldn't want to go to Cinema Wayside. There's really no other reason to go.
I go and I don't drink all the time.
But you're usually,
I show midnight.
you're high on life when you're there.
I have the floor.
That makes a difference.
Yeah. Number two.
Your average person who's not should probably not attend.
Right. They would just be like, "Oh, this is annoying. The music's so loud. Everybody's singing in my face."
Plus, you're only there for like an hour usually.
And then you get threatened by people. They're like, "Sing this song," and you're like, "Well, I don't know it." And they're like, "What do you mean you don't know this song?" And that's it.
If you don't, Oz will just tap you constantly and finger a invisible fret in front of your face.
Dude, that's all I did. When I went to the rib cook-off, and I saw America. He sat behind me, and that's all he kept doing was tapping me on the back of the head. And I would turn around, and he would do a little or whatever. It's just like, I get it, man. I just stopped turning around. He'd tap me on the head. I just wouldn't turn around anymore. He just kept tapping me on the head. Like, son of a bitch. Tap somebody else.
He wants everybody to enjoy it as much as he is, I guess.
He showed up. He showed up with Mike.
Yeah.
And they came and they sat down at the table, and he had one of those big lemonade cups.
Right.
And he sits down. He puts the cup down, and Mike's like, "So did you do that? Did you do the thing?" And I just looked over there. I go, "How much is in there, Oz?" And he goes, "A flask." And I go, "The whole?" And Mike's like, "You put the whole flask in there?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I did." It's like, "How did that fit in there?" And he goes, "I dumped the lemonade out." It's like, "Oh, you just put a straight flask in there?" Oh, Oz is fucked up, man. love
Just
that
pure
guy.
ice and flask, and that's it.
Booze. Ice and
Yep.
booze. And that's why he taps you on the back of the head all the time. You know
Yeah,
this?
what Oz does, for what Anderson's explaining, is he'll buy like a drink at the concession or at the bar, like Coke, and
Yeah.
then he'll bring in his own whiskey, and he'll fill it with his whiskey. He'll just
Yeah.
pour out the liquid that they served him,
Or
and then
drink
put his own
real quick,
whiskey.
you know? Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Serious drinker, that guy.
You know this song?
Um,
You know this song?
and-
Anyway,
Antonio writes, "Dude, that dude won't give you any change at videogamenews.com."
hey, you gonna punch me now? Antonio's gonna punch me.
Hello, Don and crew. Haven't written in a while, so decided I'd stop by and ask Brian if he's playing Witcher 3 yet, and if so, what does he think of it?
No.
No, he's not.
Not enough character
I was
options.
gonna pretend to be Brian for a second. No, I don't
I
have
think
time.
Brian's into Witcher.
Been working.
Because he has to play as Witcher. He can't make his own
Yeah.
chick character,
I can't be a girl.
so not into it. We got one more email, so we're going to go through it since we have
Alright,
one.
sorry.
Mitchell writes to Penis Pump at videogamenews.com. He says, "Hey, guys,
I think you make these up.
just wanted Kevin to say something dumb as the email receiver.
Oh, never mind.
Thanks for reading my email last week, and I actually did listen to the last 2 shows of Tumblin' with Tumblin' Weed.
Get out of here.
I tried to listen to the newest CSR, but Larry is still fucking around, as Brian would say it, and not posted a new show. Question time. What movie would you have actually liked to have lived through as the main character? Examples would be Brian as Rambo, Kevin as the Terminator, beats on the robot, Don as in the Big Lebowski, and Larry as William Foster in Falling Down, the Michael Douglas movie. Take care, peace. Mitchell." I don't know what he's talking about. I'm totally Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
Right?
I don't think anybody has any doubts about that.
And I'd be Jesse Ventura then. I'd be Jesse Ventura right there next to you.
Yeah.
I'd be dead. I'd be in Dazed and Confused.
Larry's the big Indian guy in Predator.
Sonny Landham.
I'd be Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Or no, I'd be the Tin Man. Help! I can't move.
I'm Michael Rooker in Skeleton Man.
I'm Luke Skywalker, motherfuckers.
I was just watching The Return of Bigfoot, $6 Million Man, before we started this show. John Saxon.
Actually, I think I pretty much am Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Good call. Who was that?
I'm
He
Batman.
dies at the end, though.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that at the end of the story of my life, I'm going to die.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh. All right, well.
I could be wrong.
Hopefully-
I
You
may live
usually want to
on
live
in,
this out at the very last 2 hours of your life.
yeah,
Hopefully
I
it's
may
not
live
like
on
that.
in the memories of all the VGN faithful, but
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd be the wrestler.
I'm going to have to go work on my mud wall hiding and shit. All right, well, that's it for the show, everybody. We'll be back next week. Brian will probably show up next week.
I'd be Jane.
Big sick
On a
again.
Bob.
Be sure to check out the Twitch feed that I'm on all the time. Same as the Video Game News Radio feed, which is twitch.tv/VGN Radio. I also put up alerts at the VideoGameNews.com feed, as well as the VGN Network Twitter.
Ooh.
You can check out all of those if you want to find out when the Twitch goes on, and or just subscribe on Twitch, which makes the most sense, and you'll get the alert, and you'll see me on there. Then, if you want me to talk, I'll talk, and I'll just sling a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, he will.
And otherwise, I don't know. You guys got any shout-outs or anything?
go Cavs.
Tumbling with Tumbleweed, Tuesday nights at 11.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Peace.
Peace!